Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is Grand Arena, the first match of Season 25. Thank you to all the new viewers and subscribers. It looks like I've tricked a lot more of you into watching my videos since the new year. I appreciate the support. We are still in Kyber 2. We've been in Kyber 2 the entire time since Grand Arena 2.0. Quick recap of the last week. It was a somewhat rough week for me. I was tired. I think I was just tired. I'm gonna have to step it up. So this is the first round. These are all one-shots. Pretty straightforward. My opponent just had too many Galactic Legends, and I did not have the teams to get through that many Galactic Legends. I still only have one, which actually we should get into, because I said I would have JMK by now. Round 2, fairly straightforward. There was a way through for me, but I couldn't get through the GLs again. This is why I've prioritized getting a second GL. Just surviving in Kyber 2 with one GLs. It's a lot of work, but we've been doing it. CLS dropped to Grievous. That was it for that round. We needed a full clear to have a shot in that particular round, which actually we probably still would have lost regardless. Round 3, this one was winnable. My opponent here dropped Palpatine up against Qui-Gon. That was a great result. He needed 3 shots up against Grievous, so Troopers losing, Padme losing. Weird Padme though. And then Maul ultimately getting through. He only won by less than a handful of banners. So if we look at today, before we jump into this, I do want to show where my JMK work is. Because where I'm at is I'm farming tickets, because I was delayed by several days because I had the correct amount of green relic materials back in December, and then at some point I started adding relics to characters, not factoring in that I was taking away from my green relic materials that I had set aside and budgeted for Kenobi. So it'll be next week. We'll have Kenobi. This week will be the final week of me surviving in Kyber 2 with 1 Galactic Legend. And hopefully with 2, I'm hoping 2 Galactic Legends is going to be enough for me to climb into Kyber 1. I think we've got a shot at it. My opponent here is Pain Gel. Let me show you the Grand Arena bracket we're matched up in. So this is what we're looking at. Pain Gel, my opponent, is on the far left. We'll look at it zoomed in a moment, but I just want to show the overall bracket of who we're seeing. Everybody has 3 or more. No, okay, so we're looking at 3 Galactic Legends on my opponent today. Everybody else is in that range, but we do have another person like me, Dynatron, second from the right. He has 1 Galactic Legend. And what's interesting is seeing the trends of what it takes to survive at these levels, and what you see is Dynatron has some excellent mods. I'm up there with some of the better mods in this particular bracket. I have the highest count in terms of good speeds. Dynatron's not too far behind me. My opponent today is gonna be in for a hurt, because my average speed for my top 500 is almost 15, and my opponent today is at almost 10. He's got Lord Vader, JML, and SLKR though. His Amis, he's got a Zam Omicron. He only has 1 Omicron, and it's the Zam. No Maul. We'll look at this a little bit more in detail, but across the board, Maul is fairly rare. The Bad Batch are usually ignored. But let's take a look at his specific stuff. So here is the hot bot. This is a Discord bot. Guild GP is bigger, but not too far off. His lifetime banners, that is very good. This is just a serious net metric, and it tells me he's a serious player who takes Grand Arena, who's careful with it, and plays the game mode. Zetas are just slightly ahead of me, but considering he has 3 Galactic Legends, that's the majority of those Zetas are on his, not majority, but he has a number of those Zetas are on his Galactic Legends. Low on relics for what we're facing. His Gear 11 Plus is right in line with the averages, so it's telling me he's not going to be super deep, but he's not shallow. And then his speeds. His mods are not good, and that should give us at least a little bit of an edge in certain matchups. Like, you can see how slow his Lord Vader is, how slow his JML is. Like, I don't have a fast JML. It's something I've talked about this before. I need to work on my speed sets in particular, but my JML is not bad. But you can see I still have 40-ish speed on his. Padme is matched with mine. His Anakin is slow. His Rex is slow. Darth Revan is slow. His Piet is way slow. His Moff Gideon is way slow. So just character after character, I've got a number of advantages here. No Executor, but he makes up for that with his Galactic Legends. And he still does well. And what I see in his Grand Arena history is he knows how to handle his roster, go for undersizes, and he does tend to save a lot for offense. So the number of GLs that we're going to be seeing is going to be on the lighter end. Let's jump in here. Let's break down this defense. My defense, I was going to tweak things. I was going to throw Iden Versio on defense, which is something I normally don't do, but I decided to keep her this round for offense. I have, though, geared up since last time my Young Han, which allows me to put a more ideal dash team down. I had been using some other scoundrels to fill that out because I didn't have quite enough of the smugglers. Now I have a better amount. I need to take a look at his Zeta, though. I don't know if I want to put that on or not yet. Other than that, most of my gearing went towards JMK. So nothing other than really those relics and relic levels. Down below, yeah, this is all the same as last time. I'm not happy about that BAM squad. That BAM squad did better before I had Sign of Django on it. It's probably a relic levels issue, but it did better when I had Nest with it. And Dash technically works well there, but I'd rather have a Dash team. This back wall should do fine. He's probably, though, going to be pretty efficient with my defense, considering what he tends to keep. We may find one Galactic Legend on the back wall, but I think I'm going to have to be careful. I'm not going to be able to play as fast and loose as I like to play. So we got Grievous, Padme, Night Sisters, and Bossk. Nothing too big of a problem here, but we do need to remember the Zam Omicron. Down below, we are looking at a Nute team. Mon Mothma, Geos, and Phasma. So nothing really worrisome here, but the problem is these are the types of teams I like to go very soft against. I don't like to overpower them just to save myself for what's on the back wall, and sometimes I get myself in trouble by doing that. So we're going to need to be careful and balance my tendencies so to maximize banners. I don't think we can afford to drop more than maybe one battle. So So we're just going to start off with Iden Versio because she's fun. And this is a nice palate cleanser to get us ready for the new season, especially these first matchups of the new season. I'd like to ease into. All right. Yeah, let's stun wedge. This isn't a hard one. I was this because of the particular characters he uses with his Mon Mothma. I was considering not using Iden Versio here, but I decided to do it just because it would have resulted in me making other more difficult decisions around the board, and I've decided I'd rather have the flexibility here. You know what? Let's go after Scout. That's what we should be doing because of the turn meter he's giving. Until we get enough stacks from the assists, it's just we take our time. This Omicron is fantastic. I love it. I guess we have a few new Omicrons. That's something we can visit a little bit. The Wampa Omicron I'm very curious about, but it's one that I'm going to let other people figure out how good it is. Because it's an Omicron that it needs to beat GLs for me to value it. It seems like it's designed for cleanups, and if it works for GL cleanups, then it's an automatic use it. But I'll let others figure out that works definitely. So we deathmarked Wedge, he won't be coming back. All these assists are boosting up our damage. I always do Biggs last because that evasion up he gets is just super annoying. Scout should be appearing pretty soon. Because of the mass assists, I'm going to target Biggs. Because Lando's going to go down pretty soon. Get our revive buffs back. I feel like trying this without Snow Trooper. I don't feel like he adds enough. Magma with the turn meter removal interests me, and I've already geared him up a little bit a few weeks back. Are you? That's annoying. I should have paid attention to the turn meter before throwing the death mark on because we lost it without getting to use it. We'll be done in a second. We've ramped up enough damage where the rest of this isn't going to be too much of a big deal. As long as I get a turn again. You know what? Let's just stun Biggs. That took a while, and that's also a reason why Death Trooper is critical. We tried it wasn't last week. Sometime during last season, I tried as an experiment doing Iden Versio without Death Trooper, and it was a timeout. And I probably could have got through it had I autoed, but Death Trooper is pretty important. We're gonna do Nest is my plan here. And I know a lot of people have joined my channel since some of those list videos we've been doing lately, and one of those things was don't put down these kinds of prerequisite bridge teams on defense. They're not good. And it's because of things like this. Let's throw down some days. Stun Fox. Actually, we should be going after... what? That was a little scary. Alright, we need to be going after officers. We need to be going after. We'll hit Executioner. Oof. Just because he had Expose and less health, but... Alright, let's hit the days. Take out Execution. What is up with this Executioner? Go down. I don't want to see you. Oh. Briefly scary. But we're ultimately fine. She deserves more relic levels, but it's one of those things where this free-to-play life, I gotta budget things. What's that other Omicron we had lately? Because there was Leia, Akbar, both I'm very interested. Alright, here's the problem. I basically had a plan for those teams. I have plans for the upper territory. I want to get through here without using too much. So what I'm expecting on the back wall, based on the trends of how he plays, is Troopers, Lord Vader, Ewoks, and everything else is what we usually see. So I'm keeping all of my Jedi for the back wall. I guess Troopers we can do CLS. Ewoks we can do anything. He doesn't have the Omicron or anything, and it's not that good of an Ewoks team. It's just the Lord Vader is an issue. So, you know what, let's not... Alright, sorry about those dogs. Okay. So the way that I've been thinking about this, like... The reason that I put Geos on defense, even though it's something I generally don't recommend, is because of the redundant counters. So once you take Mon Mothma, you take Geos, and in the upper territory there was... Who was up there again? The upper territory had, oh, Night Sisters, Grievous, Bossk, Padme. So even take like a team like Night Sisters or Traya's a good counter. It's a situation where I can get myself into trouble by using up the counters in the wrong way. And sometimes with my Traya, because of the gear levels, this gets a little scary. But I don't want to waste something like Troopers on it. I don't want to waste any of my other teams. They're at a level where I don't want to risk Jawas. And I can't really afford to do things. So let's just do Traya. And this... yeah. We'll just deal with any problems we get with limited counters later on. I think we just need to be safe without using too much and without using too little. And the reason Marauder here is because of the turn meter gain that he gets. Fine with losing him. They're targeting the right characters. Sometimes fine. Not enough debuffs, we're just going to basic. I don't like how this is going. Alright. AoE, throw the debuffs. Alright. Isolate. Cooldowns on Nihilus. Goodbye, Scion. All right. Seriously. This is why I was a little worried with my trig, just because of my particular gear levels. Geo teams of the right relic levels, which this one was in the gray zone of, can get messy. And had they targeted different Sith in a different order, that would have been a loss, which has happened. Now Nute here. I've been loosely thinking Troopers with this, because the relic levels on the Dooku and the Nute, I don't want to mess with. And if I'm right about the back wall, then I don't really need Troopers elsewhere, because my plan for the top territory is going to be Bad Batch on Grievous, Palpatine on Padme, Maul. Then I guess I don't have a use for Night Sisters yet. We can't use Night Sisters here, actually. What Zeta is this? Is the unique or the leadership? It's unique. Okay, so definitely no Night Sisters there. I think we can do Troopers because I don't really have a plan for Troopers otherwise. Alright, Veers, Piet off Gideon. Stark and Dark. I'm a little bit worried about that Dooku. But once we throw the days down, we won't have to worry about him too much more. We do need to make sure, and I don't know if it's going to come up But we gotta make sure Django takes his turns, otherwise we're gonna get in a timeout situation. Yeah, you know what? Let's target Droidica. That's an easy out. Let's hit Wampa. Okay. Now this is where I'm getting worried. Because this could be a timeout if we... I shouldn't have brought in Stark. That was the mistake I made. I may have made a mistake. I should not have brought in Stark. Had Nest been here, I wouldn't have brought in Stark. But I forgot about... Django and this nonsense with starting off with a damage immunity twice. You know what? Let's just target Django. What am I doing? Let's just target Django right now. Let's take out Dooku though. You know what? No, let's do that. Just gonna take our time, do basics on Django until he finally goes. Just every time Stark goes, he's gonna take turn meter away, which is why I shouldn't have brought him. It's very irritating. Alright, there's one. This is what. Let's take the extortion. I should have learned this lesson already. I've been talking about this on the Discord, or it came up as just... I know this problem. We'll get through it, but this is why I left Nute alive. Alright, go. 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 Come on. Do it. Finally. Alright, there we go. Next time, no Stark. Alright, let's see if he followed his patterns. Lord Vader, Troopers, and Ewoks. There he goes. Ewoks, I don't know. We'll figure something out. I am going to do CLS against the Troopers. CLS is like the best team in the game. With my alt account, it was Troopers was the first team I built. And then very soon after, started farming everything for CLS. And then within a couple weeks of level 85, I had a CLS team. Which of these guys? I think Moff Gideon we're going to hit first. Yeah, it's just the turn meter removal. I don't even want to risk it. Oh, okay, fine. Pull some turn meter back. Stun. No stun. There we go. The Dark Trooper being at gear 12 is why I'm just not too concerned about him. It's a really important relic. It's one I don't have, I really want to have. And after... Well, I guess I have already geared up the JMK stuff. I'm working on Star Killer now. At least making sure I have enough resources for Star Killer. But very soon I want that Dark Trooper relic. R2? Is there something I don't know about? Okay. I haven't done this in a while. And whenever I come up against these GLs, I like to rewatch my previous footage. But this one's not very good. So I'm not doing it right now, unless this R2 does something I don't know about. Like, he's going to stealth, and I guess he's going to force me to target the R2. How fast is this R2? I think that's probably what's going to go on, is that stealth is going to mess things up. .245 is not fast. You know what? I'm gonna take a second. Okay. I'm refreshed. We're going in. He's still really slow. And the gear on these Empire characters is not particularly good, and the one of them that is at Relics is a character that's still fragile at Relics. The only thing I'm thinking is, usually I mark a character early. I think we're going to go with the swap and stun to prevent R2 from doing his nonsense. But maybe we don't need to, considering the speeds here. So the flux. See, normally I would just mark somebody, but there's nobody even really worth marking. And there's actually an ability block. You know what? Let's do the mark. Because he's got an ability block. We can save that stuff. I'm going to throw an armor shred here, and the AoE should take care of these other guys. Almost. Oh, you know what? We need to be spreading the inherited teachings around. Let's increase cooldowns on Vader. We're going to swap. That'll take out pilots. Royal Guard's going to go quick. Okay. We're usually never this far. We're just spreading inherited teachings around. I should have swapped with... No, actually, no, this actually kind of works out, because now we spread Master's Training to Gas. We'll do the Ultimate. Now we'll get another Master's Training. So we can have 3 characters with Master's Training. And then we can auto. I should have increased cooldowns, it's fine. Alright, we'll auto from here. That's why speeds are important. I had taken out everybody before I took a turn. Ewoks will come back to you. I don't want to overthink it. It looks like my opponent is going... So front territory here. One shot everything. No surprises. He's got 2 GLs. He's got CLS. He's got Darth Revan. Like, he's got a lot of stuff. Hopefully I burn some teams of his, though, that he's going to want to use on this back wall. But his offense is usually strong enough where I think he's going to attempt a bunch of undersizes up against this upper wall here. The front top. Which... hopefully he gets himself in trouble. I don't think he's going to. Ooh, he did. Mon Mothma. Hopefully that's one where he tried to undersize it and he got tripped up, not realizing that I got these guys modded as fast as you can make a Mon Mothma team. Not as fast. Far faster than most people have their Mon Mothma teams. And not getting that the synergy's there, how powerful they can be. So hopefully trapped him with an undersize. Now up top, I'm a little bit worried about using the Bad Batch here, but it's a weak enough Grievous team, I think we get away with it. It's just, at these levels, it can be a little RNG-ish, depending on which order and combination the characters die off in. But Watt is going to make it where I'm not going to want to use Night Sisters. And we don't have any other options. So the Bad Batch I'm usually good with. This is the creature that was barking and hurt all of your ears. Alright. Everybody dazed. Let's get some stuns. Alright, let's get the buffs up. You know, I don't know how many rounds it's been where I've marked down make my Omega faster. I still haven't done it. This kit is... the kit of this squad is so many nuances that I'm always checking. Yeah, let's go over here. I guess I should have done Omega because it's the way the turn meter works. The AoE didn't happen. They're not forcing me to hit that marked. Alright, heal up. Omega heal. We're just going to focus on Grievous. He can't mark Watt. Watt will go down by AoE. I just wanted to take some time and heal by taking additional turns. I should take care of Watt. Alright. I should have targeted someone that healed. Alright, so that went well. Full banners. Alright, we're going to do Palpatine here. This, I'm always a little worried, but the speeds are slow-ish. Like, the Hotbot said what again? His Padme is at 295. And just for comparison, my Palpatine, which really doesn't matter because it's my Vader that's going to go first. My Palpatine, though, is at 285. He could be faster. But my Vader, who's going to be the one who goes first. Oops. My Vader. Could be faster too. We'll be fine. I've tried this with and without Mara Jade. Mara Jade makes it better. It's this, her unique adds some stuff that makes it a lot nicer. Alright. AoE, throw the debuffs down, jump into Merciless Massacre. I need to throw an ability block on Anakin right away. And I'm just going to start throwing some ability blocks to different characters, to the Jedis, because the Jedi it's guaranteed. Hopefully we get lucky on Padme. Of course not. I mean, she's Relic 8. So I didn't have a lot of confidence there. Another Merciless Massacre, and now I'm going to throw the Saber to gain turn meter on all these characters. Everyone basically has... You know what? We're going to swap with Vader. I can throw an ability block on Kenobi to make sure he doesn't cleanse. And I need a little bit of luck here. Stun Padme. Perfect. AoE. Get the staggers up. And we are going to dispel Kenobi now with that ability. But Palpatine assists. So we're just going to target Kenobi because he'll be assisting. But from here we can target whoever we want. Make sure we got... Oh wait, he's got protection up. No, he has shock. Okay. Let's hit Ahsoka. Throw that there. Back into Merciless Massacre. I am going to take out Anakin. Perfect. The one thing I don't want to do is chuck the Saber at Padme too early. We've done that before, and what happens is I don't take her out. So I'm just going to... I need to let her take a turn, and the dots will end up doing the damage, is what we did before. We can chuck the saber if we get enough dots, but right now I'm just gonna keep doing a little bit more damage, like so. Oh, you know what? Next time we'll throw the fracture down. Come on, man. I'm not chucking that saber with the protection up. Alright, now we'll do it. Okay. I don't want to do that too early because I've done that before in previous attempts at this, and she can survive a saber throw. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah, I muted it. Okay, so I don't have a plan for Night Sisters, is what I was saying. I had muted this for a moment because of the dog situation. Okay. Let's just do Maul right now, because Maul is how I'm handling Bossk here. And Night Sisters will think for a moment. Alright. Maul. Well, now that I have a Relic 7 Django, this is going to be way easier than it usually is. I played around with the Relic 7 on Django in Territory Wars yesterday, and it was really nice. The difference that makes. I like the characters where you can really feel the difference once you put those higher level relics on. That was true with Boba Fett too, where as much as I didn't want to do relicate Boba Fett for the Executor, I really enjoy it now that I have it. Okay. I always do Bossk first. Because if I target other people, Bossk is usually going to heal up. Alright, Zam should be out of here pretty soon. This is just a nice straightforward counter. I don't always do it depending on the other teams on the field, but usually it's what I do. Feels like it's getting choppy. I'm gonna just hit auto. Alright, Night Sisters. Still don't have a plan for. I could Night Sisters mirror it. I guess I've got Shaak Ti in the 501st. Not in love with that, but it's not like this is a scary Night Sister team. It's probably my best option with what I have left. Night Sisters and Shaak Ti are my best teams left. Let's go down a little further. Yeah, I think that's my safest call, but this is what I meant. Like I could feel this. I didn't have a specific counter left for Talzin, and I wasn't comfortable with that. Just knowing that in the back of my head that this is what we were going to have to deal with. We still have a good enough team where it's not like a problem, but... And we've got enough heals. Not like we have to deal with the plague and we can get through the AI. This should actually overpower it. I'm going to keep the Dispel. I'm going to do the AoE. I should have clicked 5s. I haven't done this in a while. AoE on Talzin because she was going to go down fast. And it felt like a waste on Daka. Alright, there's the second sacrifice. We'll take out Daka now. Don't you dare cause a sacrifice. We just have to do this until Echoes gets his AoE back. Not like that's a real problem. It just helps us get more banners. Should time that differently. That was a mistake. I should have paid attention to Acolyte's turn meter. In that same position. All right, now we missed a banner. We can do Night Sisters against Ewoks to be safe. We know that he's already dropped a battle. Let's check where he's at. He might just stop playing. There was a couple battles in his Grand Arena history where he did not do full clears. And he might be the type of player where if he feels like he's lost, he might just stop. But I didn't feel like that was going to happen based on his lifetime banners. I don't know. I hope he hasn't stopped. I would like to see how that dash team does. Just gonna do Night Sisters, make sure it's a nice safe one. Wampa can get in trouble against Ewoks. With the Omicron, I would do it. There's enough tenacity from the Omicron where I would no longer work. Not no longer. Actually, you know, let's just look at the potency for a moment. Depending on this, how this log rate is modded. Yeah, that's not a great log rate. I almost feel like autoing. I think I might just auto after Elder's gone. No, let's try and max out banners. Because if I auto, we're going to lose banners. We can spread a bunch of stuns around. Yeah. Doesn't really matter anymore. He doesn't have Executor, so Fleet's going to go pretty smooth. Keep hold a number of the defensive don'ts that I say. Like, there's a lot of easier teams. Like, I opted to use Nest up front. But had I not used Nest up front, we would have just cleared Nest with Ewoks with Nest. He doesn't have Kenobi, right? Yeah, his GK, his Anakin, none of that was that good. It's just some of these Relic 8 Kenobis can cause my Malevolence problems. Especially because I don't have relics on my Sunfac. But this negotiator isn't going to be a problem. Come on, man. Why are you dodging like that? And how do you not have a tank on your front lines? Like, these are things I know. I'm always surprised to notice when I get into a battle, because I don't... In some instances, I don't pay attention to the exact lineup because it's just like standard stuff. You don't really overthink it. And then you get in these scenarios every now and again where you're just kind of surprised. Is it gonna be Plo? No, there's no way it would be Plo. This is not a guy who knows. If you don't know, don't put Sergeant as one of your reinforcements. Because if Sergeant is in the reinforcements, he's going to come out. Alright, this should take care of Anakin. Yeah. This will take care of 5s. That'll take care of Sergeant. There we go. And what was the other one? Empire? Thrawn? That's what my note says he normally does. We're gonna rebels that, and then we'll be done. Yeah. I don't like looking at that relic mace. And I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen anything with mace yet. I fully expect to see something to happen with mace. CG is doing a lot to strengthen some of those weaker characters that we've had to relic for GLs. So mace is one I expect we'll get some stuff, and Tusken Raider I expect to see some things. Alright, I'm going to restart BlueStacks real quick. This is responding real slow, which means it's going to freeze on me if I start this battle. There's a couple teams I am worried about in this Grand Arena bracket. Is that I get that fellow player with one Galactic Legend. You know what, let's do this guy. And there's another guy who was from my old guild, Juicebox Heroes, and that's a good guild, good guild that recruits well and helps their guildmates. I like my new guild too. The Juicebox Heroes, though, I know it's going to be a high-performing player. They're a great unaffiliated guild, and I tend to seek out unaffiliated guilds. These like guild alliances are, they're counter to my personality. Alright, we're going to focus down on the TIE Bomber. Throw the shield disruption. What do I want? Let's do another tank. No one's gonna assist, so I'm just gonna do a basic. Okay, here we go. Now we can get back to it. I'm actually going to dispel this nonsense. And if they're going to let me target... Alright, fine. Another shield disruption. Almost. Come on, where's my assist? Yeah, let's just get rid of Vader. Vader's the only actual threat. Alright, that wraps it up. I have a suspicion that he is not going to attack me. We one-shot everybody. This is a nice start to the season. This is how I like things to go. Nice banner total. Would have liked some more solos and undersizes, but it was a respectable defense. Had his mods been better, things would have been scarier. I don't know. I think he knows he can't win, so he may be done, is what I'm thinking. I hope and encourage he continues, and everyone should. You get better at the game by playing it. You learn the counters better. You learn where the weaknesses in your mod game are, which characters don't work. You learn how to use unfamiliar teams. Like, if I was losing, I would... You've seen my videos. If I'm in a position where I think I'm going to lose, I just throw in teams and see what happens. Because that information I can use later. And it makes me better. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thanks to all the new subscribers and viewers. We're getting closer and closer to that 1,000 subscriber milestone. To anyone who's watching, what I have been doing is subscribers to the channel. Find me on the Discord, and I do roster reviews. That is open until I hit 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, thank you again. Be safe out there, everyone. This is Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes.